Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry about last week about missing a video. I was feeling a bit under the weather and no one wants to see someone with snot dripping out of their nose on camera. Well, anyway, I have a fun project this week for you. It is one of my old dressers that I've had forever. So the story with this little dresser is that I got it over 10 years ago from a friend of mine who was moving out of their apartment and just didn't want to take it with them. And I haven't fixed it up, mostly because I usually keep my clothes in it and I haven't really felt like it. It is a great dresser. It is just a little rough. So now that it is my husband's dresser, it is time for a facelift. So what we're gonna do with it is, because there's no veneer on the top of the drawers, I'm gonna sand those down and keep them natural wood. But the veneer on the side of the dresser is chipped and cracked. So I'm going to just patch that up and then I'll paint the body of it a nice gray. And I think I'm gonna replace the hardware as well. It also has some repair work that needs to happen. Drawers are a little loose, bits and pieces have come off, and just leave that out. Also, the skirting in front came off before I got it, which it's not that big of a deal, but it's not the most attractive, so we're gonna fix that. Before sanding, I'm going to remove all of the hardware from all the drawers. Flatheads, my favorite. So, I know there's probably better ways of doing it, and someone out there will tell me. This was quick, easy. I had it in the garage, so I just used dry decks to fix the veneer patches. This only works if you're gonna paint it. If you're gonna leave it wood, obviously it's not gonna work, probably wood filler. But I had dry decks, so I patched the cracked veneer with that. And just sand that down to flat, or flat-ish. I just roughed this up. It's probably good enough. I just need the paint to stick to it. This was actually easier to sand than I thought. The finish was so old and chipped and cracked that it came off like powder on all of it. So far the easiest project sanding. I am going to leave it kind of raw looking, not quite as done, because I just like the look. So now I'm going to wipe it all down and start finishing it. After I sand this side too. Start with this. I'm putting it all, I'm gonna try to do the finish here because I'm on my own today with the camera. So, this is the shellac. It is a homemade shellac that I got the recipe off of Cat's Moses Woodworking. I'll put the link above and below. So, you buy the shellac flakes online, and then you put denatured alcohol in with it and you let it sit. This one I've already watered down a bit. Denatured alcohol down. And it's an awesome, awesome finish. I've used it on a couple test projects and I really like the way it looks. And yeah. So let's do this. Clean rag. I should wear gloves. Wear gloves. Don't do what I'm doing. Ooh. One down, 3 to go. Yes, I made it in a salsa jar because we have plenty of those sitting around here. All right. The nice and the bad thing about this is it dries really, really fast, which is awesome because you can almost start at the beginning when you get to the end, but at the same point, it's harder to get the little streaks out. But everything has its pros and cons. Luckily, sandpaper helps with the streaks. Actually, also, if you wipe it down with denatured alcohol again, you can thin it back out if it gets too floppy. And I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Alright. Wool foam roller. I just like the lack of texture, I guess, for now. So, same ones I used on the file cabinets, actually. And, well, what to do? So I got new pulls for the dresser. The other ones are great. I'll use them probably for another project, but I didn't love them for this. So I got these from Home Depot, probably the cheapest pulls you could find, but they work perfect for this project. Didn't get them because they're cheap, they're just good. And now I'm going to paint them a dark gray from the file cabinets I did a couple weeks ago. Anyway, I'll link that in case you're interested in checking that out. And I know there's better ways of painting these. I just don't care.
But it's dinner time, so she needs to go quicker.
Sorry. So yeah. Painty fingers, painty fingers. Spray paint probably would have been a better option, honestly. But, again, it's the color selection of them. Also the fact that I had this and just works out. Right, so while those are drying, I'm going to do another coat of varnish on the drawers on the top, and that should be good. Okay. Got a glove for this time around. Ugh. Voila. Much better with the glove. Now that my knobs are, now that the dresser's knobs are dry, I'm going to drop them. I'm going to take a light sandpaper and kind of scuff up tops a little bit just to make them a little less solid and look a little more worn looking. So, there's that. Knobs. Alright, those are done. So, one of the last things I'm going to do, my husband doesn't know this, is I'm going to paint the sides of his drawers because they're kind of funky looking. And to do that, I'm just going to use up some paint I've used on other projects. So, one of the most satisfying things ever. So satisfying. I'm just gonna mix the grays, the gray and the blue from my file cabinet project together. See what color I get. don't think I want it to be super blue for this, but also just want to use it up because I don't like having paint sitting around, even though I do. So, that one in there. Get that nicely mixed up in here. Total experimental color. Now the moment you've all been waiting for. Completion. Or maybe it's the moment that I've been waiting for. Okay. I love this now. I mean, I've always loved it, and I'm really glad that I've hung on to it all these years and as rough shape as it was until I was able to have the time and vision for it. I hope you enjoyed it too, and if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit subscribe, you know the deal. And now for the biggest project of all, getting my husband to put his clothes in the dresser. See you next week, guys.